I was in the depths of my depression in 2006 when I was asked by Canadian television to cover a made-for-television match between Jack Nicklaus and Tom Watson. And now I knew both Jack and Tom, I played with Tom once in the Open Championship. We were an acquaintance, I mean, that was about it. And Jack was Jack, you know, just a legend well, they both were. So I felt I was lucky to be involved with that. But at the time, I was undiagnosed. And this was the night before the tournament, before they were due to play. I had both of them in a room, and I had to do an interview with both of them for Canadian television. So I'd interviewed Jack, and I'd got in front of Tom. I was about 50 pounds heavier than I am now, and in the depths of the worst depression that I had experienced up until that point. And all I could think of was the bottle in my room and getting back to it. If I'd had heroin at that stage, I would have done it. I would have done anything to feel different to the way that I did at that point. And I asked Tom the first question, and he looked at me kind of funny. And he just put his hand over the lens of the camera like this, and the red light goes out. And he looked at me and he said, "You're not well, are you?" And I thought, "No, I'm not." And I said, "How do you know?" And there was a really awkward silence in the room. And he said, "I can see it in your eyes." And I said, "What do you see?" He said, "I see my reflection." And I didn't know at the time that Tom was an alcoholic. And he'd been sober for a few years at that point. And to this day, you know, he's one of my dearest friends. People ask me, you know, what is depression? I mean, how come you can't just cheer up? Well, depression is sadness minus hope. And you can live without money, you can live without love, you can live without a lot of things, but you can't live without hope. And in that moment, there was one warm, dry hand that reached down into that hole, and it was Tom Watson's. And he said to me, he said, "You need to come with me." I said, "To where?" He said, "To Kansas City, to my meeting." And that was the day that I got sober. The opportunity to be here among you. And as I said earlier, the chance to make a difference in someone else's life, that's what keeps me going. And I would say to any of you, you know, for any kind of advice, you know, it's okay to be nosy, especially when it's someone that you love or someone that you care about. You know, ask them the right questions. And if you're there for them, the same way that Tom was for me, the fact that you're here tonight offers hope. And that is the single most important quality that you can offer any of our kids in any situation. You know, just give them hope. That's all. Thank you.